Governor, I want to actually kind of continue on that same vein. And I had a very long and detailed question here written by my staff that I'm going to depart from and just go to the heart of the issue, which is, I think what people are concerned about, and there was a, this was a very hot issue this year because of legal action, is the idea that we would somehow, in a wholesale way, divest of our public lands. So talk a little bit about that, how we can stay true to our conservation history, make sure that the things we do on our public lands, especially, well, not especially, but economically, recreationally, and as, they play such an essential cultural role in states like mine, can be supported while making smart decisions about individual parcels.
Well, thank you, Senator Henrich. I think we have to look no further than New Mexico for the answer to the fact that we can find the balance, because as I know what Senator Hoeven and I hate to acknowledge, but New Mexico passed North Dakota as the #2 oil and gas producer in the state, and yet your state's got a tremendous record of protecting, cultural and historical lands and providing that balance. So I think there is certainly the opportunity for us to find that balance going forward, where we can protect the land that we need to protect, but also solve issues, whether it's housing or whether it's a resource development that may be of interest to the tribe and the local communities.
And that's something we really pride ourselves on in New Mexico, is that we have been able to strike a balance, that we've been able to be an energy leader on many fronts, and at the same time we've created a number of national monuments even that are not controversial, that are deeply supported by local leaders, by veterans groups, by tribes, by hunters and fishermen alike. So I would just simply ask that before the department makes wholesale changes to conservation designations in the state of New Mexico, at least, that you would meet with myself and any local leaders who helped to create those designations in the first place.
Yeah, I think that, yes, absolutely would look forward to those discussions with you and those. And I think, again, as you've described, the key to this is the local consultation. As Senator Lee and other states have experienced, there have been incidents where there's been complete and total opposition and no local consultation. And I think, again, my experience as governor and working with the tribes and working with local communities in North Dakota, whether it's grazing associations, county commissioners, mayors, rural residents, I think the consultation is key.
And part of that consultation is also those tribes that have both current and historic connections to those places as well, right?
Absolutely.
Right. As a former outfitter guide, I'm really quite excited that this Senate and this body just passed the Explore Act. It's the first major piece of outdoor recreation legislation. Senator Barrasso was incredibly involved in that, as was Senator Manchin. Permitting reform was something I worked on in that piece of legislation. And it's kind of a recognition of the big economic driver of our public lands that often doesn't get the same attention that energy and other uses get. So outdoor recreation in New Mexico is responsible for something like 29,000 jobs and billions of dollars of impact. On a national scale, it's over $1 trillion economy. So talk again a little bit about how we can balance those competing issues, as you did as governor, and support that outdoor recreation economy, because it is growing, and it's particularly critical to our rural gateway communities.
Well, first I would just like to say this is a really important topic, but it's also a passion of mine. As someone who's spent my life as an avid outdoorsman, I was very pleased to get the full endorsement of the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable for this job, which represents that $1 trillion industry.
I think that's where we first met.
Yes, yeah, where it represents all of these different aspects. And I think that the opportunity for in most states, I recognize this as governor. We created a Office of Outdoor Recreation while I was governor, and continue to invest in whether that's access to fishing and hunting, public access on public lands. We've got a number of great things going on in North Dakota that we've done there that have been really helpful, including using technology. We took all the posting requirements in our state. We got all the landowners, the pheasant hunters, all the waterfowl hunters, got everybody to agree on that. And we created a tool where, even for hunting, you can look on your phone and find out whether the land is posted or not posted. And it might be posted no for deer hunting, yes for pheasant hunting. And it includes the phone number, and it's posted, but if you call me and talk to me, I might let you on, but then the landowner's name and the phone number is right there. So we've been able to find tools to bring together landowners and sportsmen on both private lands as well as public lands to try to make sure that we can keep that outdoor economy rolling.
Thank you.